And we are live. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming by tonight as we get ready for a big Pacific Division battle between the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks here on this fine Sunday evening. And hopefully we have a fun night here, a good game coming up, a great stream, a great chat with everybody. But I'm hoping for good things here between these two Pacific Division rivals. Obviously, San Jose pretty far out of it as far as the playoffs are concerned, and just their where they're at in the standings. They're probably not going to be playing into May this year. But for Vegas, this is a pretty big game. This is a pretty big game for Vegas. They've lost a few now. They're trying to get back on track. They've been passed in the standings by the red-hot Calgary Flames, who have taken over first place in the Pacific. So Vegas wants to get back into the win column, and they want to get, obviously some steam rolling here and try and put a start of a winning streak together. So this is going to be a big game, and obviously, even though that, San Jose is not in a great spot in the standings right now, they never want to lose to one of their biggest rivals, and Vegas has certainly been one of their biggest rivals. So they're definitely going to come out ready to play, I would imagine, and put out a good effort tonight. So this should be a fun hockey game, and we'll see. I mean, Vegas has got to try and get themselves back together, because they have not been doing that well here recently. They've been passed in the standings. They've been dropping. Calgary has caught them and passed them. Edmonton is trying to catch them. They're only a few points back. So Vegas needs any points that they can get out of this one, that's for sure. But hopefully we get a great game tonight. I am excited to see how this one goes. And I've only seen the Sharks I think one or two times before this one. I know that this is only my second time streaming the Sharks this year, so I'm actually pretty excited to see the Sharks again and get a chance to do another one of their games, because I haven't really seen much of the Sharks this season. Vegas I've seen a lot more of, and watched quite a few of their games, but I'm just hoping for a fun night overall. Pretty much just looking for a fun night and a good hockey game. But Christian, Awesome Aid, Isaac, Max, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. I'm going to get the poll up in the chat, so everybody can get their votes in on who they think is going to win this one. We've got the Golden Knights on the road, trying to get back into the win column, and we've got the San Jose Sharks at home, who are just trying to get any wins that they can, despite being a little bit out of it as far as the standings are concerned, and getting into the playoffs and whatnot. But they're still playing for pride. All right. Will Eichel score tonight? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he very well could, but maybe he doesn't. I think Vegas should win this game. This is actually their first time playing this year. That's nuts that they've only played. They haven't played yet this season. This is their first game against each other this year, and it's coming this late in the season. That's pretty crazy. Let's see. Eichel picked up his first assist in the last game for Vegas, the overtime loss to LA, but he hasn't scored yet. I mean, there's definitely a chance that he could get his first goal of the season, his first goal with Vegas tonight, but obviously not a guarantee. We'll find out. I'm watching the game on ESPN Plus. I have no idea where else. I mean, it's gonna be on. If you're in the market of these teams, it's gonna be on whatever the normal regional network is that these teams usually play on. If you're out of the market for these two teams, I am watching on ESPN Plus. Favorite NCAA hockey team? Providence College. I've been a huge Providence College fan ever since I was in high school, and PC hockey all the way. Yeah, it was a nice goal, Isaac, and Pasta now is 25 on the season. So after a bit of a slow start for Pasternak, he's really the last, I would say, 2 months, he's really put it together and started ripping the puck into the back of the net, and that's what it's great to see for the Bruins for sure, because they need a big goal scorer like that. So starting goaltenders tonight, we've got Logan Thompson playing in goal for Vegas. Obviously, Robin Lehner is still out with an injury, and Laurent Brossoit has started the last few games, but he can't play every night. They got to get him a rest at some point. So Logan Thompson is going to be the goaltender tonight for Vegas, and James Reimer is in the goal down at the other end. Terry, what's going on? Red Rubber, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, Sharks have pretty much dropped out of it as far as playoffs go. They're now second to last in the Pacific Division. The only team behind them in the division is Seattle, who obviously is even worse shape. But San Jose's at 49 points right now. They've played 48 games. I guess they're not completely out of it, but they'd have to win a lot of their remaining games to try and catch LA or Edmonton. So Kings and Oilers are both at 59 points right now. They are in the last two playoff spots. And then Anaheim is at 57, Dallas is at 56, and then it just keeps going on and on. San Jose is at 49, and then Vegas is at 60 points. They're 4 points now behind the Calgary Flames for first place in the division, and they have a 1 point lead over Edmonton for second place in the division. So actually, if Vegas loses tonight and Edmonton wins, then Edmonton would actually pass Vegas. So this is a big game for the Golden Knights to try and win if they want to keep their current positioning in the Pacific standings. Gaming Gang, what's going on? Paul, what is going on? Vernon, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Metal Mania, welcome. Yeah, 9-game winning streak for Calgary. They're the hottest team in the NHL. And absolutely lighting it up right now. So the Flames look like they're moving towards, they're trying to catch the top of the West as much as they can. But welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. We're getting ready for puck drop. Shouldn't be too much longer before we get this one going. Make sure you get your votes in the poll at the top of the chat. You can vote for who you think is going to win this game, whether that's Vegas or San Jose. We got 16 votes in so far. 3/4 of you are on the Golden Knights tonight, while 25% have the Sharks. But obviously, more votes will come in as this one goes along. Logan, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Teams are lined up at center ice, and we are underway for the first time this season. We have the Golden Knights versus Sharks. And they're one of 3 meetings that these teams will have this year. And they are getting number 1 here now, February 20th. So pretty late in the season to start the matchup. But we got some good ones here the last couple months of the year. Face-off one back there by Vegas. Pietrangelo dumps it in. Wrapped around behind Reimer. Played now down low, trying to work it up to Tomas Hertl. That one's right back in the corner. Trying to clear it again is San Jose. They're once again having trouble getting it out. Finally, Barabanov gets it to the middle, up to Hertl. Hertl passes it up. That one goes through, and Vegas sends it right back out the other way. Sharks will have to go back to their own zone and regroup. Mike, what's going on? Matthew, next game's Tuesday. Paul, what about Boston? What about them? Over the red line here into the offensive zone. Taken here, back to the point. Long shot in. That one gets knocked down in front. Taken here by the Sharks as they look to work it out. Back the other way. Here comes San Jose. into the attacking end. Trying to work this one down low. Sent back out to the point. Long shot there. Blocked on the way through. Taken on the sideboards. And Vegas clears it out. Up to William Karlsson. Trying to bring it into the offensive end. That's going to be offsides if they touch it. So they have to tag up now. Oh, no. Like, Boston's 100% making the playoffs. The East is pretty much set. All the playoff races are the West. The Eastern Conference, the 8 teams that are in playoff spots in the Eastern Conference right now are going to be the 8 teams that make the playoffs. There's like a 99% chance that the Bruins, the Capitals, those teams are all going to make the playoffs. Like 99% sure. Yes, I'll be at the Bruins Avalanche game tomorrow. J-Dog, what's going on? Welcome in. Long shot there from Hutton, and Reimer sees it the whole way. Covers that one up here with 18-16 to go in the first as we're just getting going in this one. Yeah, tomorrow the Bruins play the Avalanche at 1 in the afternoon, and I will be at that game. So obviously that's a game I'm pretty much expecting the Bruins to lose, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's at least a fun one to watch. So I'm going to set up the wall now, trying to go back the other way. Taken here through the neutral zone, over the red line, dumped in. That one gets sent down in the corner. Vegas, Eichel chips that out to the neutral zone. 66, what's going on? Welcome into the chat. Thank you for coming by. Great to see you. So that one's hopped over the red line. Sharks dump it in. Thompson plays it away now to Nick Hague. Hague goes D to D with it. Moved up now. Through the middle of the ice, deflected in by Pacioretty. Forecheck coming from Brett Howden. Line change on the way here. Colasar in on the forecheck with Carrier as well, as Vegas takes it in the offensive zone. He gets hit by Vlasic. Merkley comes over to get it, but can't get it out. Kept in here by the Golden Knights. And that one's poked away from Colasar. Played down low now. Trying to work it up, and it's taken by the Sharks. Dahlin is going to clear it to the middle, up and out of the zone. Dumped into the offensive end. San Jose goes on the attack. Down in the corner. Good hit there. That hit came from VL. Now it's taken by Peterson down low. And trying to work it back out towards the point. Golden Knights are able to steal it. They bring it up ice. Through the neutral zone and dumped into the offensive end. Taken behind the net by Ferraro there. Moved the other way. Chip to the middle. Big hit there by Nick Waugh. And that keeps the puck in the offensive zone for Vegas as Reimer has to try and pad that one aside. It's taken now. Sharks out the other way. Barabanov into the offensive zone. Pass into the middle. Ends up deflecting to the corner. Both teams in there going after it now. Just over 3.5 minutes into this first period. Puck gets played through here to Dodonov. Tries to feather it in front, finding Janmark there, but was too far ahead of him. Sharks take it. They come back the other way. Here's Meyer. Pass now. Sent up into the offensive zone. San Jose trying to get a shot off here around the net. Here's a chance. Meyer, but holding the post there was Logan Thompson. TCB, what's going on? Welcome in. Great to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Sent out in front again there. Thompson gets a stick on it. Ben Hutton plays it out now for the Golden Knights. Up through the neutral zone, then turns it over. It's taken back by Gregor. Robert, what is going on? Welcome in. As that one rolls in on the goalie, Thompson covers it up, and we get a whistle here with 15:35 to go. And we'll have an offensive zone face-off coming up here for the Golden Knights. Or excuse me, no, for the Sharks. Sorry. Other way. It'll be a offensive zone draw here for San Jose. Still looking for our first goal of this one. Taken back now. Long shot there. That one gets knocked aside. Trying to spin it around there was Gregor, but it's taken back. Played now by Riley Smith. He leaves it for Braden McNabb. I mean, this game's pretty important for Vegas. I would say Vegas has got to find a way to win this game. This is a very important game for them. So I'm gonna I'm going to say Vegas 3-2. I think this is going to end up being fairly low scoring. I'm going to say Vegas 3-2. As this one's taken now, Vlasic passes it up. Sharks trying to go back the other way through the neutral zone. Vegas could potentially drop to third in their division if they lose tonight and Edmonton wins. So this is kind of a big game. As here comes Eichel behind the D. Oh, what a stop there by Reimer. Jack Eichel with a breakaway there for the Golden Knights, but Reimer makes the save. Now Vegas trying to work it back out of their zone as the Sharks send it in. They go in hard on the forecheck. Nieto plays it down low with Couture. Out there as well. We got a high sticking call coming up now against the Sharks. That was Balcers getting his stick up, and that's going to be a power play now for the Golden Knights. First power play opportunity of the game goes to Vegas. Nicholas Hague caught that stick from Balcers up high. They go back. They show another replay here of the Eichel breakaway. Tried to go high blocker side, but Reimer was able to get a blocker on it. I use Streamlabs, Paul. So it is a double minor. Wow, this is a 4-minute penalty, which means that it must have drawn blood on Hague. So it's a 4-minute high sticking to Balcers there, and this is going to give a big power play opportunity to the Vegas Golden Knights. 4 minutes of power play time here with 14:23 to go. And hang on a second. Now they're taking another look at it here. Hold on. The referees are talking about this. They might be taking a look. This might have been Hague's own stick. He's definitely bleeding on his lips, but this might have been Hague's own stick that caused this. Mastered, what's going on? I'm watching on ESPN+. Alright, no, it remains a penalty. They reviewed it. They wanted to see if that was Hague's own stick, but it wasn't. So it is a high sticking penalty here. And Vegas is now on the power play for 4 minutes. We'll see if they can take advantage of it as it's played down low. Setting up already in the attacking zone, looking for our first goal of the game. Out to the point. Played off the sideboards now. Knocked down. San Jose with a chance to clear, but it's kept in by the Golden Knights. Low battery. What is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Glove down there. Moved across. Here's Eichel. Top of the circle, pass back to the blue line, played by Theodore. Long shot goes high off glass and cleared all the way down there off the carom by the Sharks. First 45 seconds of this power play killed. Still a lot of time left, though, for Vegas. 3:10 now remaining as they bring it back into the offensive zone, and it's turned over and sent away again. This time, it's Matt Nieto, short-handed, and big save there by Thompson. Great short-handed opportunity for the Sharks, but Logan Thompson makes the save. And we remain scoreless here as Vegas brings it up through the neutral zone. Eichel's pass is deflected away. He's going to head off for a change. Second power play unit on the ice now. Ticking under now to 2:40 remaining on this power play. Double minor high sticking to Rudolph's Balcers. Vegas trying to take advantage of it. Puck in the corner now. Carlson back to the blue line. Pietrangelo back to Carlson. And that pass trying to go back to Pietrangelo is deflected away back out to the neutral zone. Vegas brings it right back in, though. Here's a pass through from Stevenson. Ends up down low. Carlson trying to play it. Out to the point. Kept in by Pietrangelo. Gets it through to Marchessault. Other side. Working it back out high. Looking for a quality opportunity here. Here's Stevenson with a shot. That's blocked on the way through. And Karam's to the corner and is cleared all the way down by the Sharks. First half of this power play is done. Now 1:55 remaining. We're down to 12:15 left in the period. Moved up now through the neutral zone into the offensive end. And Vegas is offsides. This one's going to get whistled down. So it will be a neutral zone face-off coming up, and still the best opportunity of this power play has actually belonged to the Sharks on that Nieto break and getting behind the D. And that was the best opportunity so far, but Vegas still with some time here to try and get things going. Eric, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. That one gets gloved there and covered by Reimer. We'll get another whistle with 1:36 left on the power play and 11:58 to go in the first. Oh, awesome, Christian. That is awesome. Well, I hope you get to see a really good game, and I hope you have a great birthday as well. As that one's won back there by the shorthanded Sharks. Ferraro tries to work it out. He gets pressured, gets it up to Cogliano. He can't get it out of the zone. Taken back now, played by the Golden Knights. Trying to get set up here with possession. Cross ice now for Pacioretty. Behind the net, out in front there. Good chance. Reimer holds the post. Brent Burns backhands it off glass, and that one's out to the neutral zone. Vegas regrouping now with it. 1:10 to go on the power play. Theodore poked away as he enters the offensive zone. San Jose's not able to get it out, though. Here's a chance. Backdoor all alone. Reimer makes the save on Pacioretty. They left Max Pacioretty all alone there by the side of the net. And the puck ends up getting through to him on a nice backhand pass from Waugh. But Reimer's able to get across and make the save. Taken back now. Trying to work it here. Vegas setting up on the power play. Thrown in there. That one gets knocked down. Worked again down low. 50 seconds left. Back over. Taken out in front. Stolen away. Here come the Sharks. Shorthanded back the other way. Into the offensive zone. Shot there. Thompson with a good save. Another quality shorthanded chance for the Sharks. And here's going to be another one. That one just sent wide. Tomas Hertl with a great opportunity. Back the other way now into the offensive zone. Vegas still with 25 seconds to go on this power play. Working it back out high. Taken here. Out to the blue line. Played across. Pietrangelo, long shot. Deflected on the way through, but blocked in front by the Sharks. They clear it out again. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Sharks have almost killed it off. Ethan, what is going on? Welcome in as we go to full strength now. Vegas, unsuccessful on their 4-minute power play. We're back to 5-on-5. That one's taken out in front now and cleared out of the zone by San Jose. Welcome in, Ethan. That's awesome that you're at the game. That's incredible. And I said Vegas 3-2 for my prediction in this one. But we'll have to see as Reimer makes a nice backhand or blocker side save there. That one's cleared up and out as we tick past the 10-minute mark of the first. Yeah, wow. Oilers on a 5-game winning streak, well, up until tonight, and now find themselves down early as we get a shot in here, and it goes in! Keegan Colasar with a goal for the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm really not sure how that one found its way through. Looked like one that Reimer should have had. But anyway, Colasar puts it in. Let's see if this changed direction or something here. I mean, if it did, it was far out. It was far out if it did. That was just a bad misplay there by James Reimer. And that puts Vegas up 1-0 here. And Vegas gets the early lead just past the halfway point of this first period. And Keegan Colasar with a pretty fluttery shot from back out around the faceoff circle. And somehow it goes low blocker side on Reimer, who just flat out misses it. And that's definitely one that he would like to have back. Into the offensive zone now. Vegas right back in on the attack. That one's out in front, but cleared to the corner by the Sharks. Trying to chip it out of the zone. Janmark keeps it in for now. Trevor, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat. We got 9 minutes to go in the first period. It's played out to the neutral zone. Vegas brings it back in. That one's sent down low behind the net. Ferraro plays it to Burns. Burns up to Barabanov. To the middle now and out of the zone, taken by Hurdle. Sharks into the offensive end. Here comes the forecheck. Hurdle in there with Barabanov. Trying to get hit behind the net. Vegas comes in. Looking to take the puck away and clear it out. San Jose maintains possession, though. Back to the point. Long shot there goes high. That was from Maloch. And it's kept in the offensive zone by San Jose, who's trying to tie this game up now. 8:20 left here in the first period. Yes, Vernon, that was definitely a tough loss that they could not really afford. But, hey, Montreal's starting to play a little bit better now with Marty St. Louis as the coach. They're starting to play a little bit better. They're not a complete pushover anymore. As we've got 8 minutes to go, and Vegas will work this out of their end. Up through neutral ice, into the offensive zone. Played across there, goes under the stick of Brady McNabb. Sharks get it back, and they start the breakout. They clear it to neutral ice, where Vegas regains possession. Trying to work this one up now. Taken here. Worked through, over the red line, dumped into the offensive end. Hello, Mastered. Taken now. San Jose with it. Trying to work this one up. That one's played across by Merkley and eventually dumped in. Taken by Brady McNabb as the Sharks get a line change. Vegas comes up through the neutral zone. Into the offensive end. Long shot or dump in there. Carlson goes after it. Played in the corner now by Burns. He gets it up the middle. Out of the zone. Neutral zone now. Vegas steals it back. Here's Marchessault. He dumps it in. Forechecking pressure coming from Carlson and Smith. Stolen by Carlson, but his pass is stolen back by the Sharks. Trying to get that one to the slot area. And now San Jose brings it in. Here's a chance for Gregor! And a nice save there by Thompson. Some good early stops here for Vegas goaltender Logan Thompson. He's been sharp, and they remain in the lead. That's kept in at the blue line by Burns. 6:40 to go. Now getting taken down there was Carrier. Puck is played by Smith into the offensive zone. Here's Howden. We got delayed penalty call coming up against San Jose. So as soon as they touch the puck, which they do right now in the corner, we are going to get a penalty call. Tripping against Brent Burns, and Vegas is going to go on another power play here as we have 6:29 remaining in the first period. And the Vegas Golden Knights have a 1-0 lead on a fluttery goal from Keegan Colasar. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams are welcome and wanted here. It's trying to grow a community where everyone can come together, have fun, and enjoy hockey. Really appreciate everybody coming by tonight. We're off to a pretty good start here. This is an important game for Vegas. They've been caught in the standings. Edmonton's right there. Calgary has passed them. This is an important game for Vegas. They need to get back into the win column tonight, and obviously they're off to a pretty good start. Gerry, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Pablo, what is going on? Welcome. Fuki, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. We're getting down to the latter part of the first period here, and the Golden Knights are holding on to their 1-goal lead. Hey, TCB, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Bonjour, Fortnite Master. Welcome in. So we're at commercial break here. Just coming back from the commercial break. Now, Brent Burns not happy with his penalty call. But the trailing referee called it. And, yeah. We've got, wow, yeah. Carrier went down awful easy there. But nonetheless, Vegas is on the power play. 6:29 to go in the first. Danny, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. No, literally, I think the only French word I know is bonjour, which is hello. I don't think I know any other French. That's played down in the corner now. Good early save on this power play from Reimer. Now it's backside. Chance again. Trying to get it down low. Eichel has it. Vegas here in the offensive zone. Trying to get set up. Playing it down low. Wah. Passes it up the wall to Pacioretty. Trying to get it into the middle, but it's stolen away by the Sharks. Here they come up. Ice short-handed breakaway. Again, Couture. And he can't put it in. But it's a slash against the Golden Knights, and that is going to do it for the power play. So a very short-lived power play here for Vegas, and we're going to go to some 4-on-4s. Logan Couture gets in behind the D around Shea Theodore, gets a breakaway, tried to tuck it on the backhand by the pad, but wasn't able to. But the slashing penalty to Shea Theodore does negate the power play. So now we're going to have a minute 29 of 4-on-4. Hey, Slick Nick, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Shot blocked right off of the faceoff and cleared now by Vegas into the offensive zone. Here are the Golden Knights now. 4-on-4 in the attacking end. Back to Pietrangelo. Long shot. Pad save Reimer. Sent now behind the net. Eichel with it. Jack Eichel works it around, out to the blue line, keeping it in the attacking end, looking for a passing play. Goes for a skate, has Timo Meier. Beautiful pass in front, behind the net, back to Eichel, and Jack Eichel scores his first! It's his first goal of the season. It's his first goal as a Golden Knight, and it is 2-0 Vegas with 5:26 to go in the period. And they take advantage of the 4-on-4, and Jack Eichel makes it 2-0 Golden Knights. Awesome Aid, what's going on? John, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Good to see you in the chat. Really appreciate it. And the 4-on-4 is going to continue here for another 50 seconds. Alex, what's going on? Welcome. Joey, welcome into the stream. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you so much for being here. That one gets sent down low. Played to the corner. Trying to send this one through. It's taken by Barabanov. Out of the zone now, San Jose. Trying to get in the attacking end. Chance into the slot. Shot there. Just goes wide. Back the other way now. Vegas into the attacking end. San Jose steals the puck. Trying to get this one out. It's knocked down by Riley Smith. Can't get a clean shot off, though. And the Sharks finally take it. It's different every year. There's no set amount of points. You have to be in the top 8, low battery. You've got to either be in the top 3 of your division or in a wild card spot. Whatever that is, the point total changes year to year, but it's all about the standings and being better than the other teams. As the 4-on-4 comes to an end here, San Jose does get a brief power play. They only have 10 seconds left on it, though. Literally, as soon as I get the power play thing up, it's going to be over. As 5 seconds left on the man advantage here for the Sharks. Vegas sends it all the way down, and they're going to kill off that abbreviated penalty. We are now back to 5-on-5 hockey with 3:50 to go in the first period. Brent Burns with an outlet pass up the boards. Sharks through the neutral zone. Niners fan, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Moved up now into the attacking end. Hurdle has that one poked away. Vegas out back to the neutral zone. Taken now. Played here at the red line. San Jose trying to dump it in. It's Mario Ferraro. Plays it over to Burns. Getting down now to just over 3 minutes to go in this first period. Golden Knights have the 2-0 lead. Tomas Hurdle trying to change that, but his shot is blocked. Here's Timo Meier. It's stolen away from him. Vegas comes back the other way. Into the offensive zone. That one gets sent down. Trying to play it here, down in the corner. Kolasar with a good hit. Gunsmith, what's going on? Bonjour, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it was about, it was in the 30s today, Pablo. So yeah, it was pretty cool today. Big hit there on Pacioretty by Cogliano. Now Brandon McNabb gives him a shove. Vegas takes the puck out of their zone into the offensive end. Taken now, Eichel with it. Pass trying to get it through Cogliano to the middle. It's poked out to the blue line, kept in by Haig. Shot in there, gets knocked down in front. Trying to go back the other way now. San Jose out of the zone. Dumped all the way down, though. That's going to be icing. Yes, that is an icing call against the Sharks. 2:04 remaining here in the first period. It'll be an attacking zone draw coming up for the Golden Knights, who lead 2-0 already in this one on a couple of first period goals. Ozone draw now. One back. Taken by Marchessault. Into the middle of the ice. Shot there, and a nice save by Reimer. And he'll cover that one up with exactly 2 minutes left on the clock here in the first period. And I believe we are going to go to another commercial break. Yes, we are. First period action. Couple minutes to go. Vegas up by a couple here late in period one. Really, really appreciate everybody watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Awesome to have everybody in the chat. And hopefully we get a good, fun game tonight. So far, we're about a period in. Vegas has come out, played the way that they need to. Again, like I've been saying for most of this stream, this is a big game for Vegas. The standings now in the Pacific are very tight. Calgary, Vegas, Edmonton, LA, all very close to each other. So any points that you can get if you're any of those four teams are important. But, again, really, really glad to see everybody in the chat tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Ooh, 90s cartoon or show. Man, that's tough. 90s cartoon or show. Man, there were some good ones. I have to think about that. Oh, I know. I know exactly what it would be. That 70s show. It's not a cartoon, but one of my all-time favorite shows is That 70s Show. That went into the early 2000s, but it was started in the 90s. That's one of my all-time favorite shows. I would love, love, love to be back in the prime of that show. Niners fan, not the rest of this month, no. I mean, there's only 8 days left in February. I did Boston last week, and I did them the week before, but there's no Bruins streams the rest of February because I'm going to the game tomorrow, and then they head out west for a road trip out on the West Coast, so all the games are really late. So, yeah, but so the rest of February, I have my stream schedule right here. There's no Bruins the rest of February on the stream schedule, but there will be in March. There certainly will be in March. My weekend was good. I went to the Providence Bruins game today. They beat Hershey 4-1. And I'm going to the Boston Bruins tomorrow against Colorado. And had a pretty good day yesterday as well. And yeah, it's been a good weekend. Yeah, it's President's Day in the U.S. It's President's Day in the U.S. tomorrow, so it is a holiday. As that one gets dumped down now by the Sharks. We're under a minute and a half left here in the first period. Brought up now, trying to bring it in, but they're going to be offsides there. Dodonov's a little ahead of the play. And with 1:17 to go, we'll get a neutral zone faceoff coming up. Hey, Bobby! Thank you so much for stopping by. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming by and watching. Great to see you in the chat. Hope you're feeling better, man. Hope you're doing okay. And I really appreciate seeing you, man. Thank you. Derek, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. No politics in the chat. That will immediately get you kicked out. Marchand's last game of his suspension is tomorrow. So whatever their game is after tomorrow's is the first game that he'll be back. As that's moved up now, taken here through the neutral zone. Sharks into the offensive end. 45 seconds to go in the first. That one gets moved up the wall here. Vegas trying to come back. Nick, what's going on, dude? Welcome in. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Backhanded in there. Reimer has to make the save on Nicholas Waugh. And we're going to go to a commercial here with 32 seconds left. And when we come back, it will be an offensive zone faceoff for the Golden Knights. Maybe a chance to extend their lead even further here at the end of the first, or we might be just going into the first intermission as is. So we go to our last commercial break here. Golden Knights in the lead, and wow, Minnesota up 4-0 now. 4-0 over the Oilers. Just absolutely hammering Edmonton right now. Oh, now it's 4-1. Oilers get one back, it's 4-1. They must have just scored, because the NHL app hasn't even fully updated yet. They must have just scored. Yeah, Evander Kane gets his 5th goal already with the Oilers. And they now cut it back to a 3-goal game. It's 4-1 Wild in the first period of that one. Well, yeah, the Oilers had been playing really, really well since the coaching change. They were 5-0 going into this game under Jay Woodcroft, so the coaching change made a huge difference. But obviously, I think that might be wearing off a little bit tonight. But welcome in, Scott. Thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. All right, see you later, Pablo. We are back from commercial break now. We'll play the last 32 seconds of this first period as Vegas has a 2-0 lead here. One back now by Burns. Taken there, up and trying to get it out of the zone. All right, Bobby. Definitely be thinking of you, man, and rooting for you. And really, really appreciate you coming by. Hope you have a great night. And thank you so much for coming by. It was awesome to see you in the chat. It's taken up now 5 seconds to go here in period 1. Into the offensive zone. Cogliano gets shielded off there. And that is how this period will end. As the horn sounds. And it is 2-0 Vegas through 20 minutes here. Goals from Keegan Colasar and Jack Eichel have the Golden Knights up by a couple. And we are now going to head to the first intermission. We'll have a little bit of time to hang out and chill in the chat while we wait for period number 2 to begin. Really, really appreciate everybody watching tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. It would really mean a lot if you could subscribe and hit the thumbs up button if you haven't yet. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams, welcome and wanted. And just trying to grow a community where everybody can have some fun and enjoy hockey. So we got 20 minutes down, 40 more minutes of action to go. But we've got a little bit of time here at the intermission before we get into that. Oh boy. Steven, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat. I think while we're at the intermission here, it might be time to crack this bad boy. Get ready for some second period action. So we're going to get cheers in the chat right now. Victoria, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Nomander, what's going on? It was pretty much what I expected for Marshawn. Pretty much what I expected. But cheers, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully we get a great rest of the night of hockey here. Hopefully we have a great rest of the stream. Vegas off to a good start. We'll see if San Jose has a comeback in them. But cheers, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for making this channel what it is. And hopefully we all have a great night. Cheers. Nice and cold, too. Yeah, I mean, Providence is good, John. I don't know how many of them are going to be making... They have a good team, but they've got a lot of guys who are, like, just good AHL players and probably not going to be making the NHL jump. But there's a few guys that have looked good. And, you know, Jack Ashawn stands out on the back end with his offensive ability. I think he's got a shot for sure. To be a potential, you know, full-time Boston Bruin in the future. There's been a few others that have looked decent, but they've got a lot of like good AHL players. A lot of them are veterans, and I don't know how many are gonna ever make that next jump. But Providence at the AHL level is got a really good team. I mean, it's not hooked up or anything, Steven. I had a mini fridge for when I was in college, but now everything just goes in our main fridge down here in the basement. We have two big fridges in the house. We got one up in the kitchen and then one down here in the basement. We're here at the first intermission, getting ready for period 2. And, felt like a kind of a fast first period. I guess time-wise it really wasn't, but it kind of felt like a fast first period. But a lot of action in the NHL today. A lot of action in the NHL. Earlier there were actually quite a few afternoon games. The Hurricanes beat the Penguins 4-3. The Canadiens beat the Islanders 3-2 in a shootout. The Panthers beat the Blackhawks 5-2. The Rangers beat the Senators 2-1. The Blue Jackets just finished demolishing Buffalo 7-3. And then the games that are currently still going on right now, the Stars and Coyotes are 2-1 Coyotes at the end of the second. That's not a good look there for Dallas. But it's 2-1 Coyotes at the end of the second period. This game, obviously, first intermission, 2-0 Vegas. And also at the first intermission, the Minnesota Wild have a 4-1 lead on the Edmonton Oilers. And, yeah, Mike Smith started in goal for the Oilers and gave up 4 goals on 7 shots and was pulled from the game. That is a big yikes there for Edmonton. But still, I mean, they still got 2 periods of hockey, and they did cut it back to a 3-goal deficit. So the game's definitely not over. But, I mean, Minnesota would pretty much have to collapse at this point to blow that. Oilers, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. We're here at the first intermission. Important night in the Pacific Division where Edmonton and Vegas are both playing big games and have big points on the line. Have big points on the line and could potentially could potentially swap spots in the standings depending on how tonight's goes. However, right now it's looking good for Vegas to stay in that second spot in the Pacific with a win. And also the Oilers with a tough first period against the Wild. They're going to need to try and come back a lot better in period 2. But if Edmonton were to win tonight, and Vegas lose, then they would flip spots in the standings and Edmonton would move into second place. But that would take a few different things to happen at this point with the game's schedule or scores the way that they are. I'm predicting a first round loss, no Mander. I mean, they're gonna be a wild card team. They're gonna finish as a wild card team, which means they're gonna play one of the 1 seeds in the first round. So that's likely either gonna be Carolina or Florida. And I do not see the Bruins beating Carolina or Florida in a playoff series. I think both of those teams are much better. So, I think they're probably going to lose in the first round, but maybe they'll surprise. But I'm definitely not banking on that happening. I think they're gonna end up playing a way better team in the playoffs. All right, I'm going to drop my upcoming stream schedule in the chat so you guys can know what's coming up. I have scheduled out the rest of February. The remaining month of February is all scheduled out. No, I did not see that, John. I was doing the Off the Wall Hockey Show on Friday night, so I don't watch any games on Friday nights because I'm always doing my show, so... I didn't see that at all, but that's nuts. They pulled the goalie with 5 minutes left and it worked. Or, well, it almost worked. Dan, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Ty, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Good to see you guys in the chat. I watched the first period of the Bruins game, and then I went out after, and I didn't see any more of it. But I saw the first period, and then we went out to pool hall last night. So, I didn't see most of that game, but it was good to see them at least get 2 points out of it. No, Bruins are definitely going to make the playoffs. The 8 teams in the Eastern Conference that are in the playoffs now are going to be the 8 teams that make the playoffs. The gap is too big at this point for any of the... I mean, a team in the East that's outside of a playoff spot would literally have to win like 80% of their remaining games to catch up. And somebody in a playoff spot would have to collapse out. So I'm 99% certain that the 8 teams in the Eastern Conference that are in a playoff spot right now will be the 8 teams that make the playoffs. Now, what seeding is going to look like, that's still up for grabs, but the playoff teams, I think, are the playoff teams. When is Brody and Michaela coming back? I have no idea, Vernon. I mean, they live pretty far away now, so I have no idea the next time they'll be on a stream. You know, Brody used to live like 5 minutes from me, so he could just, you know, he was over my house all the time because, you know, he was literally like right down the street, a couple streets away. But now they live an hour away, so it's going to be a lot less often. That would be that they're both at the bottom of the Atlantic, Nick. I've seen that meme on quite a few hockey pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of social media. That's been a popular one. can't imagine that there's that much time left here at this intermission. Of course, there's no clock on the NHL app telling me how much time's left in the intermission, but hopefully we're getting back to the action and starting period 2 soon. Yes, Vernon, the Habs are having a very, very bad season. But they have won their last couple games, so, you know, they've put a couple wins on the board now. They're up to 10 wins. Can Tampa three-peat? I mean, yeah, of course they can. Will they? I'm definitely not picking them to win the cup this year. I don't think they're going to, but do they have a chance to? Absolutely. They're just as good. It's pretty crazy that team continues despite losing players and roster changes and everything. That team just continues to be good year in and year out. They're certainly capable of winning. I don't think they're going to. I just think that winning 3 in a row is too hard. I don't think they have the same level of depth that they did back last year or even the year before. So I'm not picking them to three-peat, but they're absolutely capable of it. Viper, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. We're getting ready here for period number 2. And I don't think we're that far away from puck drop. Got the second period ready up here on the scoreboard. Vegas with the 2-0 lead. We'll see if the Sharks are able to come back here with a big second and get themselves on the right track, or if Vegas is going to stay in control. Next 20 minutes is, going to show us a lot about which direction this game is going to go. Yeah, I do too, TCB. I always loved Marty St. Louis as a player, so I hope that he's successful as a coach as well. But that team's in a lot of they've just got a lot of problems. They're fully, I think, going to blow it up by the trade deadline. They're going to move as many guys as they possibly can. And they're going to be pretty much starting from scratch in Montreal. And they're going to be rebuilding and building that team from the ground up. But if they do it right, 3 or 4 years from now, we could be speaking very differently about that Canadiens team if they are able to rebuild properly. And don't forget that they have Jeff Gorton as their, leading the way, along with Kent Hughes, and now Vinny LeCavalier's involved and whatnot. But Jeff Gorton is, one of the biggest reasons why the New York Rangers are where they are. He kind of navigated the Rangers through their rebuild, and now we see how they've come out of that. So I think he can do a good job with the Canadiens. It's just going to take a little while. Like, they're not going to be back in the Cup Finals next year. Like, it's a process. It's going to take a few years for them to really get it turned around. But I think that if anybody can do it, Jeff Gorton is a good guy to have in charge. Xanified, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat, as always. We're getting ready here for period number 2. This past week, TCB, because, yeah, it was funny. So basically what happened is that when they originally hired St. Louis as the coach, this rumor came out that Vinny was going to be the assistant GM. Now, he's not the assistant GM, but he has joined the Canadiens in a senior advisor role, which, I don't know exactly what that means, but he's basically like a consultant in the front office. Like, he's going to be involved in just like talking about players, talking about who to sign, who to keep, who to trade, all of that kind of stuff. So basically, he's a part of the front office, but he's not technically the assistant GM. He's just kind of like a senior consultant type role. But yeah, he originally denied that. When the original rumor came out, he said that he wasn't gonna be the assistant GM, which I guess he didn't lie, because he's not the assistant GM. but he did end up taking a position within the organization. Yeah, Vernon, I did see that. Actually, we were out to dinner after the Providence game today, and I saw it up on like Sports Center that was playing at the restaurant we were at. That's pretty crazy. You don't see that in basketball very much. Frank, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to have you in the chat. Thank you so much for coming by. We're getting ready to start the second period. Believe this is the last commercial break, and then we'll be starting the second when these commercials come to an end. Joe, what's going on, dude? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy the channel so much. That is awesome. And hopefully you have a great stream again here tonight as we get ready for the start of period number 2. Teams are out on the ice, ready to go. We're going to have a nice face-off at the center dot to get us going. Vegas is taking the 2-0 lead. Into the second here. We'll see if they can hold that lead or if the Sharks have a bit of a comeback in them. I mean, they're not even comparable, no, man. They're like, there's no, like, real fights in other sports the way that there are in hockey. Like, hockey, you legitimately fist fight with someone. Like, other sports just don't have that. Which is one of the things that makes hockey so awesome, is that you can drop the gloves and square up and go in hockey, and no other sport has that. So, or no other, team sport like this. Like, obviously, there's fighting sports like MMA and boxing, but I'm talking about, like, regular team sports. Like, no one else fights like hockey, and that's one of the things that makes hockey so cool. As that one's thrown in front, they're just trying to tuck it in, but sending it wide was Marchessault. This one gets sent now. Vegas right back into the offensive zone, putting on some more pressure. That one's blocked down. Maloch sends it up the glass. That one gets taken here. Moved to the middle. And off glass again. That one's once again gloved down and kept in by Vegas. Chance there. That one goes wide. Taken now behind the net. Backhanded by Middleton up the boards. Out of the zone past Cogliano. That one's taken now. Pietrangelo gets it back for Vegas. Up into the offensive end. Jack, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Thank you so much for watching. Over the red line. That one gets dumped. Oh, that's right, John. Lacrosse does have fights sometimes. I completely forgot about lacrosse because that's not like a... It's not one of the more popular sports, so I forgot about lacrosse, but you're right, lacrosse does have fights similar to hockey. That looked like it was in the... Hold on, what the heck just happened here? Pacioretty might have just scored here on like a long shot from way out by the blue line. What's wrong with James Reimer tonight? Hang out, or out by the top of the circle, he just throws it on. Was that in the net? That looked like it was in the net. The referees, that's a goal! That's a goal for Max Pacioretty! The referees didn't even realize that went in the net. They're looking at it now. They're looking at it now, but this is going to be a goal, I think. This is going to be a goal. Pacioretty just throws the puck at the net from the sideboards, and it goes over the shoulder of Reimer. And we have a goal. It's 3-0 Vegas. And it is 3-0 Vegas on a fluky goal that nobody even realized went in except for Max Pacioretty. And it is 3-0 now, Golden Knights here. They score just under a minute and a half into the second to extend the lead even further. And nobody even Like, that was such a weird goal. And what's wrong with James Reimer? That's the second goal of this game that's come from a mile away that he just hasn't been able to get a piece of. Like, that one was from out by the sideboards, like at least 25 feet away, over his shoulder, doesn't get a piece of it. And then the first goal from Kolesar kind of came from a similar spot on the rush, and it went right under his blocker and in. Like, something is wrong with James Reimer not seeing this puck properly or something. Pacioretty gets his 15th goal of the season, and Vegas extends the lead to 3. So that one is sent up the boards now. Played here, knocked down by away from Meyer. He sends it back deep. Here's a chance. Barabanov trying to get it in on goal. Played behind the net. San Jose with a little bit of time in the offensive zone here, but now Pietrangelo steals it, lofts it up, and clears it out of the zone. Tomas Hertl brings it back in. He fires one into the glove of Logan Thompson. That one's covered up. 17-16 to go here in the second period. It will be an offensive zone faceoff for the Sharks coming up, but they find themselves now down by 3. After giving up 2 in the first and 1 here early in the second. Well, Joe, it looks like it's going well for Vegas so far. I mean, hopefully I didn't just jinx it for you, but so far it's looking pretty good. I'm watching on ESPN Plus because I am out of market for both of these teams, so I'm just watching on ESPN Plus. But not sure where else to get this particular game tonight, as this is brought into the offensive zone. Here's a shot. Thompson with a good save there, getting a piece of that one. It's taken on the sidewall and cleared out now by the Golden Knights. Vegas into the offensive end. Send it in deep. Go after on the forecheck. Sharks trying to clear. They send it all the way back around through the neutral zone. Sharks trying to get into the offensive end. Knocked down there. Played away by Kolesar. Into the offensive end. Here come the Knights. Poked away by Middleton. Jumping up into the play. Into the offensive zone. San Jose on the attack. Good back check coming, though, from Vegas. And that one's taken away. Carlson gets some help from Marchessault, and possession goes to the Golden Knights. Moved in now, trying to get it to the middle. Played there. Dumped in by Vegas. 16 minutes to go here in period 2. Taken away, moved up and out of the zone. Gregor clears up to Cogliano. Cogliano gets stood up there by Haig. Pietrangelo comes over to get it. Plays it up the wall. Riley Smith backhand to Marchessault. Marchessault's out to the neutral zone. Haig's going to dump it in. No, he fans on it. He misses it between his legs, and the Sharks take the puck back. Yeah, he was down in the AHL, Christian, yes. But because Leonard is injured, he's now up with Vegas. Trying to go around now. That one gets sent down. Trying to play it here. Worked up, backhanded by Pietrangelo. Sharks can't keep it in. Another good clear from Vegas defensively. We're about 5 minutes here into period number 2. Played down in the corner, up the wall, goes through the middle, drop pass there. Chance for Burns. That one deflects just wide. Thrown in there, played up now, taken here. Long stretch pass, doesn't get through. Good stick position there from Ferraro. And it's taken now back the other way by the Sharks. Trying to work it through the neutral zone. Barabanov, pass into the middle. Chip through there. And taken away by Janmark, who will loft it out. And San Jose will get it back in their own zone. Into the offensive end. Vlasic to Hertl. Hertl with a backhand through the middle. Deflects behind the net. Out in front into the crease. And Thompson covers that with the glove. 14:22 to go here in the second. And an O-zone draw coming up now for San Jose. Yes, low battery. That's been Edmonton for the last 5 years, honestly. That's been the Oilers for the last 5 years, and it continues again this season for the most part. Cap, what is going on? Welcome in. Great to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for coming by. Trying to work this one now in front. We got a penalty call coming up, though, against Vegas. It's going to be a hooking call, I believe, against Matthias Janmark. And San Jose is going to go on the power play. And this could be a big chance for them to try and get back into this game. A goal here would be huge for the Sharks. It's going to be a hooking call against Matthias Janmark. And San Jose is going to have the extra guy here, man advantage. And we'll see if they can do anything with it. I am not sure, Christian, what Vegas' next game is after this. Long shot in there. Nice save through traffic by Thompson. Early save right off of the draw, just 5 seconds in. Let me see. Vegas obviously playing right now. They next play... Oh, wow. They have a while before their next game. Is this for real? They don't play again until Friday against Arizona. Vegas has most of this week off. They don't play again until Friday. So they're going to have a little bit of rest time here after this game tonight. But they have the Coyotes on Friday. Eddie, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat. Hockey Madness, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Vegas will get a much good line change here on the PK. 1:12 remaining on the power play. Trying to work this one up. Taken here through the neutral zone. Into the offensive end. Power play continues for another 55 seconds for the Sharks. Played out to Merkley at the point. His shot goes off the leg of Gregor. Played to the middle and cleared out by Vegas. Sent all the way down. Another good clear on the penalty kill. Down now under 13 minutes to go in the second period. 40 seconds left of power play time for the Sharks. They work it through the neutral zone. Trying to get possession back into the offensive end. It's played over now. Rimmed around there. Out high. Kept in. Long shot gets knocked down, and Vegas will clear again. Kyle, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Robert, what is going on? Welcome. The hottest team right now is the Calgary Flames by a mile. They've won 9 games in a row. And the coldest team was Montreal, but now they've won 2 games in a row. So Montreal is starting to play a little bit better. So you could probably put New Jersey in that coldest category now. Thank you so much, Cap. Really appreciate it. Moved up now, trying to bring it in. Sharks into the offensive zone. Played back there for Ferraro. He goes D to D. Burns, long shot in. Knocked down in front. Taking that one, cleared up and out. Full strength now as the penalty is over, and we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. San Jose did not take advantage of that power play chance. 12 minutes to go here now in the second. Moving it up now into the offensive end. Long shot in there. That one gets knocked down. Back the other way. Taken now, Riley Smith. Pass into the middle. Stolen away on the back check by Balcers, but he can't clear the zone. Here's a long shot there. Reimer just able to get that one, and he covers it up after the pad save with 11:40 to go in the second period. Still 3-0 Vegas here. They'll have an ozone draw when we come back. We're going to head now to our first commercial break of period number 2. Finnegan, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Jim, what's going on? Ivan, what's going on? Montreal doesn't really have a captain right now because it was it was Shea Weber, but now he's injured and isn't gonna. He's probably never gonna play in the NHL again, so they really don't have one. Jim, what happened to this rivalry? Well, it was a really good rivalry when both of these teams were good and playing each other in the playoffs and whatnot. But now San Jose is a bottom feeder, and they kind of stink. So, with San Jose not as competitive the past couple years, it's kind of died out a little. Jason, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. We are at the first commercial break of period number 2. Head coach of the Sharks is Bob Boughner. I don't know why I just blanked on his name there for a second, but Sharks is Bob Boughner, and Vegas is Peter DeBoer, who used to be the coach of the Sharks. Yeah, we're here at the commercial break, second period action, closing in on the halfway point of this game, and Vegas is in complete control, up 3-0, and overall just in control of the game, possession, outplaying San Jose. Really, really appreciate everybody being here and watching. Thank you guys so much. Please don't forget, it would mean a lot if you could hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't yet. I cover the entire NHL. So fans of all teams are welcome and wanted here. I'll be streaming all season long, all playoffs long. And I'm going to drop my upcoming stream schedule in the chat. I've got the rest of February. I got the rest of February planned out now, so you guys can see what streams are coming up. James Reimer is the goalie for the Sharks, and Logan Thompson is playing this game for Vegas. As that one trying to get in there. Not able to finish it off there. San Jose with another opportunity. And that one gets sent around. Move through the middle now into the offensive end. Dump deep. Played down there. Away from Pacioretty. Moved up now. Bonino throws it to the middle into the offensive zone. Here's Gregor with a shot. That one gets sent wide. And it wraps all the way around the boards. Vegas gets it back out to the neutral zone. Taken up now. Yeah, he's been called up because Robin Lehner is out injured. So when somebody goes out, somebody from the AHL gets called up. And Logan Thompson is now starting because Laurent Brossoit needed the night off after playing the last few games. So Thompson gets a start tonight. Wow, that was a big poke check. That's why Gregor couldn't get the shot off after getting in behind the D there. Thompson poke checked it away. And now they've got to replace one of the skate blades here for Logan Thompson. So that's kind of the delay for this face-off with 10:35 left in the second. It's an equipment issue here for the Vegas goalie, and he's getting new skate blades popped in. So I guess that's one of the cool new technologies that they have in hockey now is they have where your skate blade can just pop in and out. So rather than having to get a whole new set of skates put on when something goes wrong with the blade, you can just pop the old blade out and put a new one in. So that's what they just did here for the Vegas goaltender. Now it will be an offensive zone draw coming up for the Sharks with 10:35 to go here in the second period. Ivan, thank you. Really appreciate that. Of course there's a chance, Joe. Dude, like, the Avs don't even have, like, the highest percent chance to win the cup, I don't think. Like, that's a team that's lost in the second round of the playoffs for, like, the last 3 years, despite being the best team in the regular season. Like, it's more likely than not that the Avs don't win the Stanley Cup. There's no, like, going into the playoffs, everybody has a chance. Going into the playoffs, everybody has a chance. And there will be at least one seed that loses in the first round. I will tell you that right now. There will be at least one seed that loses in the first round this year. Brendan, what is going on? Welcome in. Taken now, San Jose in the offensive zone. That shot just gets sent wide. That's played to the corner. Move through to the middle, but not out of the zone. Kept in there by VL. That one gets sent down now, back to the point. Trying to play it here. Spin around shot. Thompson able to grab it with a glove. And we get a little cross check there. And we're going to go to a commercial break now with 9:55 to go in the second period. Vegas up 3-0, holding on to that lead. I think Florida is going to beat Tampa in the playoffs. If they play in the second round, I think Florida is going to beat Tampa in the playoffs. Florida is the best team in the East. Florida is the best team in the East, and Colorado is the best team in the West. And yeah, I think it very well could be a Florida-Colorado finals, but Carolina is going to have a lot to say about that as well. So Carolina also, I think, has a very good shot from the East. I mean, Florida literally just beat the Blackhawks today, so Florida is arguably the best team in the league. So saying that they have no chance is just completely incorrect. Because Florida is easily top 3 team in the league and could very well be number 1. Robert, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Florida's barely lost all season. They've literally lost 3 games at home all year. Like, they're unbeatable on home ice. Bobrovsky is back playing at a Vezina level. Florida is easily like a top 3 team to possibly make the finals. I would not be surprised if Florida wins this year. They're one of the most well-rounded, complete teams in the NHL. But they could lose first round. We've seen it before. Low battery brings up a perfect point. That's why, like, when everyone asks me all this stuff, like I have any idea what's going to happen in the playoffs, like, nobody actually knows what's going to happen. Tampa Bay literally tied the record for most wins in a season with 62, and then got swept in the first round by a team that barely made the playoffs. Literally the last team in, Columbus, in 2019, sweeps them out of the first round after they break or tie the record for most wins in a season. So, in all honesty, we really have no idea what's going to happen come playoff time. Because, like, all the good teams could just choke it in the first round. Who knows? They could pull a Tampa Bay and get knocked out early. Like, it's entirely possible. That's why, like, I have no idea what's actually going to happen come playoff time. It's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new ball game. Vegas here trying to get it out of their zone. Marchessault plays it back. Taking up the boards now. That one gets knocked off the goal. Yeah, you're right, Vernon. That was the same year. Calgary was also a 1 seed in the West. and they got knocked out in 5 games in the first round by Colorado. And that was before Colorado was like really good like they are now. Literally like that was when Colorado was first getting back into the playoffs after stinking for a few years. And now Colorado's probably the best team in the league, and at least gonna most points in the league as of right now. Probably gonna stay that way, I would imagine, unless maybe Florida or Carolina catches them. But if not, I think Colorado's probably most likely to win the President's Trophy this year. Dude, playoffs are gonna be unbelievable. Playoffs are gonna be unbelievable, Joe. There's literally nothing like the NHL playoffs. Like, it's just absolutely insane. Vegas dumps that one in cross corner. Played around now. Spin around shot from Dodonov. And that's going to deflect up and out of play. We're going to get another whistle here with 7:05 to go in the second period. And we'll have a face-off coming up in the San Jose zone. Honestly, this has slowed down a little bit here in the second. Like, there's really just not much going on. This hasn't really been a physically game, or this hasn't been a physical game, really. And, there's not much going on offensively here either. Yeah, I can't watch baseball. I can last about 3 innings of a baseball game, and then I've had enough. It is so boring. It is so boring. Shot in there. Reimer with a save. And that one gets covered up by Reimer on beside the net there. 6:29 to go here in the second period. I could not tell you the last time I watched a full baseball game. I last about 3 innings, and that's it. I am falling asleep. Wow. Dallas loses to Arizona. That is so embarrassing for the Stars. Like, they're literally like 3 points out of a playoff spot, fighting for their playoff lives, and they lose to the Coyotes. That is embarrassing. Taken up now. Vegas with it out of their zone into the offensive end. Also, I don't think Dallas is going to make the playoffs. I do not think Dallas is going to make the playoffs. I know technically they're still in the hunt right now. I don't see them as a playoff team. Played up now, brought out of the zone. Vegas sends it through. That one gets knocked down, kept in there. Moved across, played out. Haig, long blast from the point, and that one's deflected up. And looks like it deflected up and out of play. And we're going to go to our final commercial break here now of period 2. Vegas still holding on to the 3-0 lead. We got 5:50 remaining in the period. And it's honestly, this game's gotten kind of boring. I'll be straight up with you. This game's gotten kind of boring. There's really not much going on. Like, Vegas is just cruising right now with this lead. They're happy just to watch the clock burn. San Jose can't get anything going. Like, no puck possession, no offensive chances. Like, literally nothing from San Jose. And it's not physical. So it's pretty much boring in every sense at this point here in the second period. I was hoping these teams would pick it up a little bit, but there's just nothing from the Sharks. Like, the Sharks are not even, like, being able to control the puck. So, like Steven says, they're just going through the motions. Yeah, I mean, I watched college baseball a little bit on Friday. It was opening day for college baseball. So I surfed around a couple of college games, but like I probably was, the way that I said it the first time, I made it seem like I hate baseball, and I don't hate baseball. I actually played baseball a lot growing up. I played for like 10 years growing up. So I don't hate baseball. I just like, I can't just like sit down and watch a full game like night in and night out. Like I can watch baseball from time to time, and I can have it on like in the background as like a side thing. Like if I'm like at my friend's house and like there's a baseball game on, well then sure, we'll sit down, have some beers and watch a little baseball. Like that's fine, but I won't like go out of my way to watch an entire 9-inning baseball game. Like if I'm sitting at home on a Sunday night and Sunday night baseball is on, like I just can't last the whole game without getting tired and just bored. But like I don't hate baseball, but I can't watch it the same way that I watch like hockey and football, where like I'll like start to finish entire game, I can be completely by myself and just like completely focused on it. I mean, hockey and football are really the only sports that I'm like that with. The other sports are I'm much more casual about. I do like going to baseball games in person though. I do like going to baseball games in person. They're fun. Yes, I do watch college football, Max. Not as much as NFL, but I do watch college football. So that's brought in now, dumped in again by Vegas. Taken now, moved up, cleared out all the way, and that's going to be icing against the Sharks. And man, I haven't watched a lot of the Sharks this year, but this looks like a bad performance. I mean, I don't know what San Jose usually looks like on a normal basis, but holy cow, they have done absolutely nothing tonight. And it's not like they're a terrible team. They have 22 wins this year. So it's not like they're awful and they're like a 10-win team. Like this team's won 22 games. I got to imagine that this is just like a bad night for the Sharks, cuz they look absolutely horrible right here. This has been a putrid game from them. They haven't gotten anything going. And Vegas now is just kind of chewing clock, going through the motions. Like, they're just taking the puck, dumping it in, watching the clock bleed. We're down to 4:10 to go here in the second period. San Jose ices it again. It will be another offensive zone draw coming up now for Vegas. The Golden Knights are in complete control of this game. Ikeka, what is going on? Welcome in. I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat. I honestly, I didn't... I thought that this would be a better game than this, honestly. Like, when I was picking games, which ones I was going to do, I thought that this would be a better game than this. But yeah, I mean, can we even call these teams rivals anymore? Because they're certainly not playing like it. Like, they're just out here skating around, going through the motions. San Jose's doing nothing with the puck. Vegas is in control, just holding on to this lead. Now, Lane Peterson here flies into his own goaltender, knocks the net off. Did he just fall down? Like, literally just fall down into the net? Like, what happened here? Yeah, he literally just fell down in his own zone and went into the net and knocked the net off. Like, Jesus. Like, San Jose can't even skate tonight. I can't imagine that San Jose looks like this on a nightly basis. Like, this is just going to be a really bad game for them. Because, I mean, this is brutal, honestly. Wild are up 6-1 now. Jesus. Well, I guess it's safe to say that Edmonton's winning streak is coming to an end. I wonder if that means that Calgary is going to lose their next game. Wonder if Calgary's winning streak continues or also comes to an end. I kind of hope that Calgary keeps going, honestly. I would love to see Calgary win like 10 or 12 in a row. Like, that'd be awesome. This one's taken now. Back out through the neutral zone. Into the offensive end and dump deep there. Vegas will go in. Colasar on the forecheck against Middleton. I mean, can those two fight or something? Like, both of those guys are good with the gloves off. Like, at least it would spice up the game a little. I would love to see Colasar and Middleton drop the gloves to at least make something interesting happen here. That's dumped back in. Spun around up the wall. Into the offensive end now. Vegas back on the attack. Marchessault with it. Back check comes from the Sharks. Played down low. Away from Carlson. Braden McNabb pinches to keep it in. Gets it through to Smith. Now Carlson in the corner. William Carlson with it. Bruin, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Stolen away there by Middleton. He'll loft it up and out of the zone. Matt Nieto knocks it down. And Sharks will try and dump it in here. Middleton jumps into the play, sends it through. Shot in there, saved by Thompson, and he'll cover that up. 1:36 remaining. Logan Couture gets a shot. And Thompson makes the saves, keeps it 3-0 here. Meyer's been very quiet in this game, Isaac. As has Tomas Hertl as well. Everybody for San Jose has been really quiet in this game. I am not, well, I don't, honestly, it's weird. I'm a Patriots fan. I'm a Boston, I'm from Massachusetts, all the Boston teams fans of, but I really, like, even though they're division rivals, I do tend to root for the Bills. I really love Josh Allen. But I'm a Patriots fan first and foremost. All the Boston teams are my teams. Because I live an hour away from Boston. And I will be in Boston tomorrow for the Colorado and Bruins game. The Sharks have never won the Stanley Cup, John. They came close in 2016. They made it to the finals. But they've never won a Stanley Cup. Long shot in there. Deflected up high off glass. Under a minute now to go in the second period. Up through the neutral zone. Vegas in on the attack again. So that one's sent around down low in the corner. Maria, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, there you go, Nick. That's cool. The Red Bruin. There you go. That's cool. Hartford never won a Stanley Cup in Hartford, no mander. When they moved to Carolina and became the Hurricanes, though, the Hurricanes won the Cup in 2006. So that franchise has won, but not when they were in Hartford. Ozone draw here for Vegas. 37 seconds left in the period. And that one's moved into the middle. Trying to go to the other side now. Thrown in there. That one gets gloved and covered by Reimer. 29 seconds to go in period 2. I don't know if I'll ever be famous, Joe, but I would like to get this channel built to the level where YouTube is my job. That'd be the one of the biggest checks of the boxes, I guess you could say. That would be when it's like, okay, I've made it. My okay, I've made it moment will be when this channel is big enough for it to be, you know, what I do. I mean, I would say like if I get to the level where like HTH is at now at like 40,000 subs, like that would be pretty sustainable at that level for sure. So that's brought up now, taken here. Vegas sends it back. Sent around now. Final seconds. Will they get one last shot off? Trying to go backdoor. Can't get it in. And Reimer at the buzzer makes a big pad stop there on Nick Waugh. And that is going to bring us now to the end of period 2. And we're going to head into the second intermission with the Vegas Golden Knights in complete control of this game. Complete control of this game, up 3-0, heading into the third. And it's not just the score, it's just the overall play. Vegas is in complete control. San Jose is really not showing much here. Like, not much offensive pressure, no real sustained puck possession. Just been Golden Knights in complete control. But we're here at the second intermission. We're gonna have some time now to hang out and chill in the chat. And 40 minutes are down. 20 minutes of action to go. Vegas in good shape right now. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. It would really mean a lot if you could hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't yet. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. Just trying to build a channel where everyone can come together, have fun, and enjoy some hockey. I'm going to drop my upcoming stream schedule again in the chat. I've got the rest of February figured out, so you guys can know what is coming up the rest of the way, and for at least this month. And yeah, my next stream after tonight will be Tuesday night, the St. Louis Blues against the Philadelphia Flyers. So we got a Blues game coming up, and then a doubleheader on Wednesday, Edmonton against Tampa Bay, and then LA against Arizona right after that. And then Thursday night, we've got a big Metro Division showdown coming up between the Washington Capitals and New York Rangers. Next Saturday night, the 26th, is the Stadium Series game, outdoor hockey between the Lightning and the Predators. So I'll be live for the Stadium Series. And then Monday night, the last day of February, the 28th, Toronto against Washington, and another big Eastern Conference clash there. So, yeah, John Cherry. There we go. John Cherry. That's pretty funny. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you enjoy the channel, for sure. So, yeah, we got some fun games coming up. Some fun games coming up here to close out this month. Yes, no, Mander, the Winter Classic was back on January 1st, when it usually is. It was St. Louis against Minnesota. And now the Stadium Series game, which is another outdoor series that the NHL does, is in Nashville for Lightning against Predators on Saturday night, the 26th coming up. Yeah, Bruins in Vegas, March 3rd, play on national TV. Honestly, I'll probably end up streaming that game, to be honest with you. I don't know for sure yet, but I haven't even looked at the March schedule. When I did my schedule for the rest of February, I just stopped at the end of February and was like, let's just get through this month first before we start worrying about, March. But I haven't looked at the schedule for March yet, but I would think if it's an ESPN national game and it's Bruins versus Golden Knights, I'll probably end up streaming that game, but I'll let you know, towards the end of the week when I start expanding the schedule beyond just February 28th. I'll let you guys know for sure. But gonna try and do as many we're going to try and do as many different teams like I've been doing, all year long, where where I've tried to mix it up with the teams that I've done and whatnot. But as we get later in the year, I am going to, put emphasis on matchups, like good matchups, whether that's, two of the best teams going at it, or whether it's or whether it's like a playoff race or something like that. I am going to emphasize matchups, so that will be important going towards the end of the season. Marchand's last game of suspension, I believe, is tomorrow, Isaac. I'm pretty sure that tomorrow is his 6th game that he's been out. Because he missed Carolina, Ottawa, New York, Ottawa again, So then Colorado is game 6. So he'll be back for the road trip. He'll be back for the road trip. Yeah, I did, Joe. I made 1 and I lost. I took Dallas, part of my picks of the week. So picks of the week are not off to a good start. Although we still got 4 more to go, so we got plenty more to go. But the Stars losing to Arizona when Arizona was on the second half of a back-to-back. That was really embarrassing for Dallas. Actually, that is not a game the Stars should be losing, and especially in the playoff race that they're in. But once again, I don't think Dallas is going to make the playoffs. I really don't. That team's been way too inconsistent this year. But, oh well, tomorrow's a new day. Yeah, I figured he would be, Nick, because Monday's the last game of his suspension. So then, yeah, Bruins have Tuesday and Wednesday off as they go on the road trip, and then they are in Seattle on Thursday night, and Brad Marchand will be back for the Seattle game. All right, I'm going to take a look at tomorrow's schedule. I haven't even looked at tomorrow's schedule yet. So, Bruins Avalanche, 1 o'clock afternoon game. I'm going to be at that game. I definitely think that the Avalanche are going to win, but I don't want to bet against the Bruins at a game that I'm going to. That just feels wrong as a fan, even though I do expect the Avs to win that one. Hurricanes should definitely beat Philadelphia. Winnipeg and Calgary, I think, will be a good game. Winnipeg and Calgary should be a good game. Toronto plays Montreal at night. Toronto should demolish the Canadiens. And then Seattle and Vancouver play at 10. That should actually be a pretty decent game as well between Seattle and Vancouver. So there are a few good matchups tomorrow. Not a big slate of games, but definitely a few good ones. I've actually won a few times with Dallas this year. Dallas has gotten some big wins at different points this season. But now they're going to blow lousy games against Arizona, apparently. So, whatever. Again, I don't bet enough to where I get, like, worked up about it. So, it is what it is. It's an L. It's fine. I'll come back tomorrow with a couple of bets and hopefully win them. Yeah, that hasn't been the case all year. Dallas has won some very good games this season. Dallas beat Colorado. Dallas beat Winnipeg this year. Dallas has beaten Nashville this year. They've won some very big games this year. And then they lose to Arizona, of course. I'll probably take Calgary tomorrow to see, they're at home trying to extend the win streak. I'll probably take Calgary to extend the win streak. I might take a bet on Vancouver as well. Vancouver at home against Seattle. I'll have to wait and see what the line is on that. I mean, if the odds are like minus 250, then it's not worth betting it because the payout is nothing. But if there's somewhat decent odds on that, then I'll probably take Vancouver as well. Canucks have played a lot better against, or a lot better since Bruce Boudreau's taken over. Yeah, those are two that I'm eyeing right now potentially for tomorrow. Would be Calgary and Vancouver. But again, it will depend on what the payout's going to be for me to actually make the bet. Because if it's like minus 250 or minus 300 or anything like that, it's usually not worth it unless it's like a sure thing. Then, you know, a win's a win. You might as well take it. But unless it's a real sure thing, it's usually not worth it. See, like right now, Vancouver is actually only minus 158 on my app for tomorrow night. So that's well worth it. That's well worth it. Minus 158. I would take the Canucks there to beat the Kraken. Yeah, Habs have been playing better, Isaac, since St. Louis taken over. 100%. They've played a lot better. Corey, what's going on? Welcome in. Kidder, what's going on? Welcome in. Good to see you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. While I have the schedule out for the NHL, why don't I look ahead to the beginning of March? So, let's see. March 1st is Tuesday night. What game do I want to do March 1st? Calgary, Minnesota. All right, guys, March 1st, my stream is going to be Calgary, Minnesota. Holy cow, what a matchup there. 8 p.m., Tuesday night, March 1st, Flames Wild. That is going to be an awesome game. Wednesday, what do I want to do Wednesday the 2nd? TNT has the Blues against the Rangers. In all likelihood, I'll probably end up doing that game. There's only 4 games on Wednesday, so there's not a lot to choose from. So I'll probably end up doing Blues Rangers March 2nd. March 3rd. Yeah, I haven't done the Bruins in a while, so by the time we get to March 3rd, I won't have streamed the Bruins for quite a while. So I'll probably do Bruins Vegas at 9. Friday's my show. Saturday I like to try and keep off as much as I can to do stuff with my friends, but I don't know if my friends would even still be around that night. So won't know for that first weekend of March quite yet, but we'll have to wait and see. But I do, so February, the first few days of March, though, I've pretty much got the games picked out that I'm going to do. And, man, Calgary and Minnesota, I am already excited for that one. I am already excited for when the Flames play the Wild. That's March 1st, did I say? Yeah, March 1st. That's going to be a heck of a game. Yeah, I won't be streaming games on Fridays because I have the show, but we'll find first weekend of March we'll have to figure out as it gets closer. I don't know as of right now. I'm doing another doubleheader next week, John. Or I mean, I guess this week. This week, Wednesday is another doubleheader. What do you mean no more doubleheaders? Vancouver very much has a chance to make the playoffs, Joe. There aren't that many teams in the Western Conference that are out of it. Because the West isn't as good as the East. So the playoff line is a lot lower in the West, there's a lot more teams within striking distance in the West than in the East. So, there aren't that many teams out of it. Wednesday's doubleheader is Edmonton versus Tampa Bay for the first game, and then Kings versus Coyotes for the second game. I've only done the Kings once this year, and they're literally in a playoff spot. And I've only done them once. So I got to do more Kings games as we get deep into the season. I got to do at least 2 or 3 more Kings games because they're like legitimately looking like a playoff team, and I've only done one of their games this year. So I gotta make an effort to do more Kings games for sure. Anaheim, I'd like to do another 1 or 2 as well. of the Ducks, even though they're kind of falling out of things. This will be Arizona's second stream on Wednesday. I may not do more Arizona after that. At least they got a couple. No, the Blackhawks are not making the playoffs. They're not even really close. They're quite a ways away from the playoffs. I did Dallas last week or the week before. I've done Dallas like 4 or 5 times this year. They're very hit or miss. Some of their games are awesome, and some of their games are absolute junk. They're so hit or miss. But I did Dallas. It might have been 2 weeks ago now. When did I do the Stars? Yeah, February 9th. I did Dallas against Nashville. That was actually a pretty good game. I can only do one game at a time, so I'm trying to mix up the teams, but at some point, like there's only so many games left on the schedule that I can do, and I can only do 1 or 2 games a day, depending on, sometimes if it's, I don't do double headers a lot. Like that's an occasional thing. It would absolutely wreck my voice if I did double headers all the time. But playoffs, I do double headers a lot more often. Playoffs, when it's full on pedal to the floor during playoff time on the channel, and I'm literally doing like as many games as I can. So I'll be doing double headers a lot more in the playoffs. But regular season, it's like a couple times a month. Maybe I'll do a double header and throw it in there. Maybe 3 times, but I don't do them a lot during the regular season. If I had to pick a team to make the playoffs, Montreal or Arizona, boy. Honestly, I'd probably pick Montreal just because, like, I feel like Montreal with Marty St. Louis as the coach might be a little bit better, might win a game, might be able to at least push it to a 5-game series. If Arizona made the playoffs, they would be swept out immediately. Like that, they would be instantly swept out. So I would probably, I'd probably say Montreal, because I think with the new coach, they might be able to win a game. But playoffs are totally different than the regular season. Playoffs are totally different than the regular season. It's really a whole new kind of game when you get going in the playoffs. And that's why, some teams are really good in the regular season and then they get knocked out in the playoffs early on because they're not really ready for playoff style hockey. And then other teams who may not be that great in the regular season and maybe are only a wild card team, are all of a sudden are able to win a round or 2 in the playoffs because they're more ready for playoff and built for playoff style hockey. So playoffs really are like a whole different animal, and it's really fun to see which teams are able to excel from that and which teams that really hurts as they get into the postseason. Always kind of an interesting thing that happens every year when the playoffs start. We are underway in the third here. Vegas with the 3-0 lead and right back in the offensive zone. San Jose trying to work it out now. Third period has begun. We're in the final 20 minutes. Sharks have not really shown much in this game, so I'm not really expecting a big comeback here by the Sharks. Honestly, I'd be pumped if it happened because it would certainly make this game a little bit more exciting. But honestly, it seems like Vegas is in pretty good control right now as Thompson easily stops that long shot and covers it up just over a minute in. And we're going to have an offensive zone faceoff for San Jose coming up. We'll see if they can get anything going offensively. Isaiah, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you stopping in. Exactly, Isaac. Exactly. Oh, yeah, Xanafied. Matthew's quote was priceless, dude. It was so funny. So funny. We're just over a minute and 20 seconds now into the third period. Vegas takes it back in their own zone. That one gets taken up. Oh, God, Isaac. I do not. I think the Bruins get swept by the Panthers in the playoffs. The Bruins would probably get swept by, would definitely get swept by Carolina. They can't even score a goal against Carolina, never mind win a game. And I think they'd probably get swept by Florida, too. Florida is so much better than Boston. Boston is lucky to even be a playoff team. If the Detroit Red Wings were a little bit better and a little bit further along in their rebuild, the Bruins would not even be in a playoff spot. The Bruins would not be a playoff team if the Red Wings were a little bit better. Like, Boston really kind of stinks this year. Like, they are not a good team. They are a very mediocre hockey team. I've gotten pretty sick of watching them. Because every game I watch the Bruins, they do nothing but make me mad. And they'll have like a random good couple of games, and then they'll go right back to just being like garbage. Like the Islanders game was pathetic. They played so well against the Rangers. Had such an awesome game against the Rangers, and then absolutely looked like garbage against the Islanders. It's like, what are you doing? The Islanders are the team that you should be beating. Like, oh, the team is so aggravating. I think they're going to get crushed tomorrow, honestly. Like, I would not be surprised if Colorado goes out there and wins like 5-1 tomorrow. I would not be surprised. Well, Bergeron was out injured for a few games. Marchand's been suspended for the past 2 weeks. Pasternak's been fine, but one player doesn't win you games in hockey. The Edmonton Oilers would be winning the Stanley Cup every year if one player could win you games. But no, I mean, the rest of the team just isn't good enough. I mean, honestly, Xanafied, like, there's so many more issues than that, though. Like, there's no easy fix. They look like a one-and-done team. They look like a one-and-done team. Like, I don't think there's any, like, one move at the trade deadline that's going to vastly change the Bruins and all of a sudden make them a legitimate contender. Like, they're honestly the 8th best team in the Eastern Conference. Like, there are 7 teams in the East better than the Boston Bruins. And if you add in the Western Conference, Calgary, Colorado, Minnesota, St. Louis, maybe Nashville, maybe Vegas. I mean, you could add another like 5 or 6 teams at least from the West that are better than the Bruins. I don't know. I'm just not impressed with the Bruins this year. They're not as good as they should be. And I think they're only going to go down from here. I mean, Bergeron could be done after this season. Patrice Bergeron could either retire or sign somewhere else after this season. Like, he's a free agent. He may not even be back. And once he goes, Boston's done. Like, they might as well just blow it up and go into a rebuild once Bergeron leaves, because they are done without him. They would have nobody that could play center higher than a third line role. They wouldn't have anything higher than a third line center on their roster without Bergeron. So they're done once he leaves. David, what's going on? Welcome in. Coyotes are not very good, but they won today. They beat Dallas. Embarrassing loss for the Stars. Moved up now, cleared here into the offensive zone. Well, considering Crosby's 34, I mean, I think you've got at least another 4 or 5 years of Sidney Crosby. I don't think he's retiring anytime soon. Well, that's because Vancouver is better than Arizona by like a pretty significant amount. Vancouver is definitely a better team than Arizona by quite a bit. Vancouver is not that far out of a playoff spot. Is that one sent in front, doesn't get all the way through. Played down low now, taken here. Worked up now, trying to get it out of the zone, and San Jose dumps it in, but doesn't really get anything going on the forecheck, and it gets taken there. I have absolutely no idea. I only schedule like a week at a time, so I have absolutely no idea when anything beyond what is on the stream schedule is going to be. I have no clue. I don't know what my availability is going to be. Don't know what the television schedule is going to be. That's why I take everything 1 week at a time, because I have no idea beyond that. Arizona doesn't usually win back-to-back games, David. They're the second worst team in the league. They're literally the 31st out of 32 teams, so I wouldn't be expecting back-to-back wins from the Coyotes. I'd be hoping for a first overall pick for the Coyotes. That's what I'd be hoping for. All right, see you later, Alex. Have a good night. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Holy shit. This game is absolutely brutally boring. Honestly, like, I'm just going to sit here and chat with you guys because there is nothing going on in this game. Like, Vegas is just holding this lead, and San Jose is not good enough to get anything remotely going offensively. So, like, they're just winding the clock down as we go to a commercial break here. It was an absolute fleece of a trade, Xanified, for Toronto. That was a massive win for the Maple Leafs to get that trade done. I mean, you get Dzingel, who you can then just bury in the minors and send in wave. And you've got Lyubushkin, who's a solid bottom pair D-man. And, yeah, I mean, talk about, you've got better cap situation now for Toronto and a solid third pair defenseman. And you literally also got rid of one of the biggest liabilities on your team, in Nick Ritchie. And all it cost you was like a mid-round, you know, it's either going to be a second or a third round pick, but in the future, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that was a big win of a trade there for the Leafs. They upgrade their defense and they get rid of Ritchie. So that's like 2 home runs for Toronto. Wild are up 7-2 now over the Oilers. Okay. So it's official, the Oilers winning streak is over. The Oilers winning streak is over. That, Lauren, that loss for the Oilers is also big for Anaheim, because Edmonton has passed Anaheim in the standings, and now Edmonton losing is going to give Anaheim a chance now to try and catch back up. So that's a big game as far as the Pacific Division standings are concerned, as is this one here, although it does look like Vegas is going to hold on and win this. That's going to keep Vegas in second place in the Pacific. And at this point, I think San Jose is pretty much out of it as far as playoffs go. I think San Jose is pretty much done at this point. This is not a good enough team to make the postseason. So that gets taken now back here by Dodonov. And Vegas takes possession back in their own zone. 13-10 to go here in the third period. Into the offensive end, Carrier just dumps it deep. Around now, up it goes. Through the neutral zone, into the offensive end. Sharks trying to get a shot there. Blocker saved by Thompson. And cleared back up now. Back the other way, Golden Knights into the offensive end. Down low here. Yeah. This San Jose team is not good enough to make the playoffs. I'm sorry, but they're just not. Start trying to move some contracts, Xanified. I mean, there's a lot of really bad contracts in San Jose. Veteran players that they signed to long-term deals at pretty big money. And, a lot of these contracts were signed back when San Jose was a perennial playoff team. 2017, 2018, 2019, like when San Jose was consistently in the playoffs and consistently trying to contend, they signed all of these big contracts. Now you're stuck with them, and the players are old and not really that good anymore. Burns has really taken a big step back. Couture's declining. Luckily for them, they were able to get rid of Evander Kane, but his contract was a big and bad one. Vlasic is on a really bad contract, and his play has declined tenfold over the last, say, 4 to 5 years. I don't know. There's a lot of bad contracts in San Jose. If I'm them, I'm trying to move. I'm trying to move anything that I can. Anything that I can get a draft picks back for, or prospects. I'm trying to move guys. I don't know if teams will take them, but I'm trying to move them. San Jose's got to accept the fact that they are now officially a rebuilding team. No playoffs in the bubble. No playoffs in 2021. Gonna be no playoffs again here in 2022. San Jose is officially a rebuilding team. They need to accept that and start making moves in that direction. As that one's deflected up and out of play here. 11:47 to go in the third. We'll have a face-off coming up. Exactly, Vernon. It's the worst place to be in. The worst place to be in as a hockey team is just outside of the playoffs, but not good enough to get in. I'd rather be like Montreal, Arizona, Seattle level bad, and at least get those top 5 draft picks and be able to, build some young talent in the organization, rather than be one of those teams that's like just outside of the playoffs. Because you're not good enough to be a playoff team. You're not good enough to be a contender, but you're also not getting those high-end draft picks either. That's a bad spot to be in. I'd rather be absolutely terrible and get the top 5 draft pick. Yeah, I definitely think Giroux will get traded at the deadline by Philadelphia. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, I think he's going to want to play 1,000 with Philly, but then he'll get shipped off quickly after that. He's getting close to 1,000 games, isn't he, Derek? I don't know his exact number right now, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty close. So that one gets thrown in there, goes by Thompson. William Karlsson takes it back. Under 11 minutes now to go in this third period. And Vegas just carries it up through the neutral zone and into the offensive end. Drop pass here. High slot. Shot gets blocked on the way through. San Jose trying to come back the other way. And the Golden Knights will just take it at their own blue line and send it back to the San Jose end. Holy cow. Not a whole lot going on here. I don't think the Flames are going to get Giroux after getting to Foley. They'd have to move some money to be able to do that. Worked up now, played here, drop pass from Nieto. Thrown in there, trying to get that one in, it's poked away. Back the other way now, Vegas clears it out to the neutral zone. And now we've got Thompson losing a skate blade again. Vegas goaltender who had both of his skate blades replaced earlier in this game, now has had another one pop out. And it hit the outside of the post. That's what happened there. The blade hit the outside of the post and popped out of his skate. So he was way off balance there because he didn't have any edge to his skate. So that play gets blown dead there, and they now get his blade popped back in. 10:04 to go in the third. So 10 minutes to go in this game, and Vegas is still up 3-0. I mean, he wants to go to Colorado, I think, Xanafied. And Colorado does have the money to be able to pull that off. So he very well could go to the Avalanche. And, I mean, they're already a powerhouse. Never mind add Claude Giroux there. But honestly, for me, Minnesota. Minnesota, I think, would be an awesome, awesome destination for Claude Giroux. As we finally get a goal from the Sharks here. And it's Nick Bonino, former Pittsburgh Penguin, putting that one in. And San Jose trying to make things a little bit interesting here. Bonino scores in front after a turnover in the defensive zone by Vegas. And with 9:43 to go now, in period number 3, the Sharks are on the board. And San Jose gets that one on the board now. It's 3-1. And maybe they're going to make things a little interesting here. We'll have to see. And the other thing about Giroux going to Minnesota is that, like, Minnesota doesn't have that true number 1 center. That, like, elite high-level talent to be their top center. If they add Giroux, all of a sudden, boom. I mean, you've got Eriksson Ek moved back into a more comfortable position. You've got Ryan Hartman moved back into a more comfortable position. And your center depth in Minnesota gets a lot better with an addition like Giroux. So I think that'd be a really good spot for him. Jack Eichel has a goal, Christian. He hasn't, everything's been kind of quiet since early in the second period. Not much has been going on. But San Jose finally just got on the board here. And they make it a 3-1 game now. We'll see if they have a bigger comeback in them. Or if Vegas is just going to hang on and coast the rest of the way. We're at a commercial break now. Less than 10 minutes to go in the third. And we're getting down to crunch time here. Sharks have got to get it going quick. Yeah, I need to do another some more wild games before this season ends too for streams, because I've only done a few wild games this year. I think I've done like maybe 4, but they're one of the best teams in the Central and in the Western Conference, so I need to do a little bit more of them as well. So LA, Anaheim, Minnesota, and Calgary. Those are 4 teams from the Western Conference that I need to do more as we get through the rest of this regular season. I keep track. Like, I keep track of how many games I've streamed for each team. So I have the list here in my Google Drive, keeping track of how many games I've done for every team. So let's see. LA, I've only done 1 LA game so far, so I obviously need to do more of them. And I have one scheduled for next week for LA. Anaheim, I've only done 3. I definitely want to do at least a couple more Ducks games over the course of the rest of this year. Calgary, I've only done 4, so I definitely want to do a few more Calgary games. And Minnesota, I've only done 3 as well, so I need to do a couple more Minnesota games at least too. Winnipeg, I've done 4. I've done 4 Winnipeg games. Yeah, I've done 4 Jets games so far. And now it looks like they're not going to be a playoff team, so... yeah, if Winnipeg was more like, in a playoff spot, I'd probably be doing them more often. But now they don't. It looks like they're not going to make the playoffs. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, whenever the Central Division teams play against each other, I'm always looking to do games like that. So I'm not saying that I won't do Winnipeg again this season, because that's not necessarily true. But they're not really like a top priority, because they're not looking like much of a playoff team this year. Here's Eichel down low trying to wrap around, but Maloch is able to poke it away. Vegas keeps it in the offensive zone, though. 8.5 now to go in the third. Yeah, I did Winnipeg against Nashville not that long ago. I think that was 2 Saturdays ago now, Vernon. I did Winnipeg against Nashville. Theodore got his stick up there on Gregor. And yeah, once the playoffs start, obviously, like, the teams that make the playoffs are all going to get streamed during the playoffs. So you'll be seeing more of the playoff teams. But the teams that don't make the playoffs, when their season ends at the end of the regular season, whatever I did for them during the regular season is going to be it. For the teams that do make the playoffs, they got chances, to get way more games streamed during the postseason. So we get a 2-minute penalty here to Shea Theodore for high sticking. And honestly, I think Vegas might have gotten a little too nonchalant here. I think Vegas has gotten a little too nonchalant and thought that this game was over, like I did as well. And now they might let San Jose back into it. They gave up the 1 goal, and now it's going to be a San Jose power play here. So they're going to have a chance here with a man advantage to possibly cut this to a 1-goal game. Yes, I've done Columbus twice. So not that many times, but I've done a couple of Columbus games this year. Just not that many. But I did Columbus against Carolina, and I forget who the first Columbus game was that I did, but the latest Columbus game I did was against Carolina back before the All-Star break. But they might get another one depending on who they're playing. It's taken up now. Played here by the Sharks through the neutral zone. Still with 1:05 left on this power play. They bring it into the offensive zone. Taken now and cleared out by Vegas. Back the other way. Shorthanded up ice. Nicholas Waugh on the drop from Janmark. Takes it behind the net. Passes it back out to the point. And Balcers is going to take it and pass it up now for San Jose into the offensive zone. Played over here. Taken down in the corner. San Jose setting up on the attack. Played over now. Taken to the middle. Dahlin sends it across there. That one's stopped by Thompson. And he covers that one up on the shot from Couture. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Yeah, that was such a weird game, Vernon. Remember that? I was all like hyped up for that game, but I thought that Carolina would, handle Columbus pretty easily. And then that was just one of Carolina's worst games of the season. And Columbus beat them 6-0 in Carolina. But, yeah, it really didn't have that much of an effect on the Hurricane season, because they are still the #1 team in the Metro Division and a top 5 team in the league. So, not really, I don't think they're really worried about that. That gets sent down now. Final 10 seconds ticking off the clock here for the power play. 6:20 now to go in the third period. And Vegas is doing a good job killing this off, as we are now back to 5-on-5 hockey. San Jose is still 0 on the power play and not able to take advantage of that chance, as they're back behind their own net now, trying to work this one up. Taken here, it's Dahlin. Sends it back to his own D-man. 6 minutes to go in the third. Played over now through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Backhanded in front. That one's knocked away. Long shot here. Played out now, trying to get it. And that's cleared by Vegas. So they get it back out to the neutral zone. San Jose brings it back in. Trying to work it around. Played down low. Taken up here. Vegas goes back the other way. Marchessault into the offensive end. He spins back. Cross-ice pass. Shot in there. Reimer comes across and makes the save with his mask. And then his mask comes off. And that one gets whistled down as he gets blasted with that one-timer right in the mask. And we're going to go to a commercial break here with under 6 minutes to go now left in the third period. And Vegas holding on to this 3-1 lead. San Jose's tried a little bit to make this interesting, but it certainly looks like they're going to come up a little short unless they find some more offense here real quick. No empty net yet, but I got to imagine that it will probably be coming. No, Mander. Joseph, what's going on? Welcome in. I mean, it's definitely possible, especially if the Sharks pull the goalie. I mean, if we get down to like 3 minutes to go and the Sharks pull the goalie, then yeah, Vegas has a good shot at hitting the empty net. But we're not quite there yet, but we'll have to wait and see what they decide to do. But I do think that there's a good possibility that Vegas gets the fourth goal if if San Jose pulls the goalie. Yeah, usually when you're down by 2, you pull the goalie earlier than when you're down by 1. Like, if you're down by 1, you usually would only pull the goalie with like a minute and a half left, maybe 2 minutes. But when you're down by 2, you're probably pulling the goalie with like 3 or 3.5 minutes to go. So that's just going to give Vegas even more time to go for the empty net. Either you do that or you don't pull the goalie at all, which is the other possibility. But we'll have to see. I mean, they could just not pull the goalie at all, but I feel like down by 2, usually about 3.5 minutes to go, you get the goalie off and try and at least get some offense going. That's iced there by the Golden Knights. 5:02 now to go in the third. It's going to be an offensive zone face-off. Offensive zone face-off coming up here for San Jose. And maybe a chance to get something going here. They're not out of this game. As much as it's felt like this game has not had a lot going on and that Vegas was just cruising, San Jose here in the third has kind of gotten themselves back into it a little bit. Another goal would be massive. I mean, that'd be all of a sudden edge of your seat kind of action again. Sharks trying to set it up now. Shot there gets blocked. Taken, played around behind by Balsers. Behind the net, wraparound chance here. Not able to tuck it in was Hurdle. Haig takes a hit and moves it up the wall. Taken back now. San Jose loses it there at the blue line. Cogliano can't maintain possession. And Vegas will dump it into the offensive zone. 4:15 now remaining in the third period. Vegas goes in on the forecheck. San Jose's going to try and get it out of their own end. This one gets moved up now, moved to the middle, backhanded in. That one gets sent down low, chipped through there. And that one gets taken down, up the wall, cleared again by Dodonov. 3:50 now remaining here in the third. That one gets chipped to the middle. All right, now, honestly, I'd be watching. I'd be watching to see if the goalie goes here, because we're down to about 3.5 minutes to go in the third. San Jose can choose to take Reimer off and put the 6th attacker on, or they may just leave Reimer in the net and not want to give up the 4th goal and try and get their second goal 5-on-5. We'll see what they decide to do. Is that one sent across? Maloch keeps it in, plays it down low, trying to get it through there to Gregor. No, excuse me, it wasn't. It was, who is 33 for San Jose? Reimer is still in the net as of now. So it looks like they might not pull Reimer. He's still in the net as of now. Who the heck is... Oh, that must have been Ferraro jumping in down low. Taken back out now over the red line into the offensive, and here's Timo Meier driving the net, but it's poked away at the last second. Good defense there from Vegas. We're down to 2:40 left here in the third. Playing it around now. Back out to the point. Long shot here, and saved by Thompson. And he's going to cover that one up here with 2:27 to go in the third period. San Jose putting on some offense, and also they are now pulling the goalie. So we have an empty net down at the San Jose end. They are down by 2 here with just about 2.5 minutes to go. And they're going to have an offensive zone face-off, trying to get this back to a 1-goal game. They need a couple. They need a couple of goals. Reimer to the bench for the extra attacker. And it's going to be 2 minutes and 27 seconds of empty net time here for the Sharks, unless Vegas scores. But we'll see if Vegas can put one in the empty net or if San Jose keeps the offensive pressure coming. This one's played back now over to Burns. Takes it top of the circle, Meier. Gets it back to Burns. Back to Meier. 2:15 now to go in the third period. Right off of that faceoff, thrown through the middle. Nobody gets a piece of it. Deflected there. Vegas can't get it out. Second chance. Here's Pacioretty. And he gets it taken away from behind. Sharks bring it back into the offensive zone. Down low in the corner here. Sharks get it back. Behind the net. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the third now. 1:50 left on the clock. Vegas clears it up. They get it out of the zone. Trying to chip it to the middle, but Burns gets back. Taken back up now. Down low. Dumped the other way. Pietrangelo for Vegas tries to clear it out. That goes off the boards, though, and kept in. Good play there by Gregor. And it's offensive zone possession now for the Sharks. Down up the near side boards. That one's cleared through to the middle. Knocked down there. 1:20 to go. San Jose gets it back in their own zone. Long stretch pass up through neutral ice. Deflected into the offensive end. Pietrangelo goes back to get it for Vegas. 1:10 now to go here in the third period. Vegas trying to get this one out of their zone. Long shot in there. Chance. Thompson with a save. Rebound chance. He stops it as well. 2 big saves there for Logan Thompson. And Vegas sends the puck all the way down. That's icing. 52 seconds to go in the third. And it is still a 1-0 lead here for the Golden Knights, thanks to, a 3-1 lead here for the Golden Knights, thanks to Logan Thompson. It was very close to being a 1-goal game, but he made a couple of good stops in front on Bonino. Michael, what's going on? Andrew, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. We are getting a timeout now by the Sharks. Sharks are using their timeout now with 52 seconds remaining in the third period. and they are still down by a couple of goals. '90s Cricket, welcome. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you so much for watching as we're getting ready for this offensive zone face-off. 52 seconds left. Sharks trying to get a couple of goals, but yeah, this I think they're pretty running out of time here. Oh, good chance in front! Holy cow, what a stop by Thompson again. Holy cow, Sharks getting good opportunities. So that one gets brought up now, neutral zone through the middle. Stevenson into the empty net, and Vegas gets the empty netter. It's going to be 4-1 as Vegas gets the goal from Chandler Stevenson with 32 seconds to go, and that is going to be the icing on the cake of this one. Incredible point-blank save by Logan Thompson down at the Vegas end, and then they get the puck out of the zone afterwards, and Stevenson puts it in the empty net. It is a 4-1 game now. We are back underway. Final 25 seconds, and Vegas hit the empty netter. That will go all the way around now, played out of the zone. No, Colasar doesn't get it out. Sharks keep it in. Merkley with a long throw in. And that one gets knocked down. Now we got more going on after the whistle. VL getting into it with some of the Golden Knights. Howden comes after him. Colasar's in there. Everybody trying to get in on this one as we got 8 seconds to go and we got a full 5-on-5 here. We've got a full 5-on-5 as these teams go at it. And this is starting to get like the Golden Knights and Vegas rivalry that we're used to. Everybody all over the ice pairing up. Multiple bodies thrown and tackled down onto the ice here. This is Vegas and San Jose. Haven't had any of this in this game. And we finally start to get some rivalry hockey here. Fourth lines on the ice for both teams, and they heat it up. Colasar, VL, Howden. Now Hutton and Vlasic are going. Hutton and Vlasic have grabbed each other. Carrier's in there. Everybody going at it here. Full 5-on-5. There weren't really much for punches. There weren't really any punches. It was just like everybody piling on top of each other and dragging each other to the ice. But all 10 players on the ice getting into it here with 8 seconds to go in the third. And this is going to set up that March 1st matchup. This is gonna set up their next game for sure. This was not a physical game at all. It really didn't feel like Vegas and San Jose usually does. I mean, there was a few years where this was arguably the best rivalry in the league, and it's really died down, I would say, over the last season or so. And there really wasn't a lot of physicality in this game, but all of a sudden now, 4-1 game with only a few seconds left. These fourth lines get out there against each other, and they go at it. And these two teams play again pretty quickly here. All right, so now we have a neutral zone face-off. Both teams get just some lines on the ice to finish this one out. And that is going to do it. Final horn here rings. 4-1. Vegas Golden Knights defeat the San Jose Sharks. And this one comes to a close. At least we got a little bit of action at the end there. That made it a little bit more fun and spiced it up a little bit. But Vegas takes care of business here tonight in a game that they needed to win. Well, they did. They went out. They got the win. They handled the Sharks 4-1. And that is going to bring us to the end of this one now as this game goes final. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and thumbs up if you haven't yet. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams are welcome and wanted here. It helps out the channel an absolute ton. We're trying to build a community where everyone can come together, have some fun, and enjoy hockey. My next stream is going to be Tuesday night. St. Louis Blues against the Philadelphia Flyers on Tuesday. 7 o'clock Eastern time game, and then a doubleheader coming up on Wednesday with Edmonton versus Tampa Bay, and then LA versus Arizona. So we got some streams coming up this coming week. Really, really appreciate the support, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I dropped this stream schedule in the chat for the rest of February. So if you want to know what's coming up the rest of this month, there you have it. And really, really appreciate everybody watching tonight. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. So thank you guys again, and see you next time.